Aliens abandoned a worthless starship on Earth. Humans made it unstoppable. The sleek, damaged vessel of the Talon species crashed in the remote mountains of Jeju Island, South Korea. The alien ship looked like a giant teardrop made of dark, blue metal. Smoke rose from its broken hull. Inside, 4 tall aliens with pale skin argued in their clicking language. "This craft is beyond repair," said Captain Rono, the leader. "The main drive is destroyed. We must leave it behind." His crew nodded in agreement. On their world, damaged technology was always thrown away. The idea of fixing things was shameful to them. "Send the emergency signal," ordered Rono. "Our fleet will collect us, and we will forget this worthless ship." The aliens gathered their personal items and left the ship. They climbed a nearby hill and waited, looking up at the sky. Soon a bright light appeared above them. A small shuttle descended and took them away. The crashed ship sat alone in the forest for 3 days. Rain fell on its broken hull. Small animals walked past it, curious but afraid to go near. On the 4th day, Park Jin was hiking through the mountains. He was a science teacher at the local high school. Jin loved exploring nature during his free time. He carried a small device that measured magnetic fields, which he used to teach his students about Earth's magnetism. As Jin walked through a dense part of the forest, his device began beeping loudly. The needle swung wildly. "That's strange," Jin said to himself. He followed the readings, pushing through thick bushes. When he emerged into a small clearing, he stopped and stared. What in the world? The alien ship sat in front of him. It was bigger than a bus, but smaller than an airplane. Despite the damage, it was beautiful. The metal surface shimmered with colors that changed when viewed from different angles. Jin approached slowly. He touched the hull, expecting it to be cold, but it was warm. He walked around the ship, taking pictures with his phone. When he found an opening in the side, he hesitated only briefly before climbing inside. The interior was dark but not completely black. Soft blue lights glowed along the walls. The air smelled like cinnamon and metal. Jin saw chairs designed for bodies taller than humans. Screens with strange symbols covered the walls. "This is not from Earth," he whispered, his heart racing. Jin knew he should call the authorities. This was clearly something important. But then he thought about what would happen. The government would take over. Scientists would study it for years. The public might never learn the truth. Instead, Jin called his sister Song Yun. She was an engineer who had been fired from her job at a big technology company. Her boss had called her ideas too creative and impractical. Now she worked in her home garage building inventions that no one wanted to fund. "Yun, you need to come see this," Jin said when she answered. "Bring your tools, all of them." "What did you find?" she asked. "I can't explain on the phone. You wouldn't believe me. Just come to the coordinates I'm sending you. And don't tell anyone." Yoon arrived 6 hours later, driving her old truck up the mountain roads. She brought 3 large toolboxes and a portable generator. When she saw the ship, she dropped her phone. "Jin, this is..." "I know." They entered the ship together. Yoon immediately began examining everything. She touched panels, studied the symbols, and looked under floor sections. "The technology is amazing," she said. "But something major is broken. See this?" She pointed to a dark section where cables hung loose and a strange crystal lay shattered. "I think this is their main power source or engine." Over the next few days, Jin and Yoon camped beside the ship. They told their friends and family they were on a hiking trip. During the day, they explored every part of the vessel. At night, they made plans. "We need help," Yoon finally admitted. "I need Nam, my old college friend. He knows quantum physics. And we need Han, the mechanic from my neighborhood." Jin nodded. "Call them. But make sure they understand. This stays secret." 1 week after the crash, a small team gathered around the alien ship. Jin, Yoon, Nam the physicist, and Han the mechanic stood in the main control room. They looked at each other, excited and scared. "The aliens thought this ship was worthless," Yoon said. "They couldn't imagine fixing it." "But we can," said Han, smiling. Humans have always been good at making broken things work again. Jin nodded. Then let's get started. The team of 4 worked on the alien ship for 2 weeks. Each day they learned more about the strange technology. They set up a small camp outside the ship. Jin brought food and water from the nearest town. They told no one about their discovery. The metal in this ship is unlike anything on Earth, said Nam, studying a small piece under his portable microscope. It changes properties when electricity passes through it. Han spent most of his time studying the broken engine. The aliens used crystals for power, he explained. When these crystals break, they think the whole system is useless. But I think we can make it work differently. Yoon focused on the computer systems. She connected her laptop to the alien screens using cables she designed herself. At first, nothing happened. Then on the 5th day, the screens flickered with light. "I'm in," she shouted. The others ran to see. Strange symbols moved across the screens. Yoon worked day and night to understand them. She created a program to help translate the alien language. "It's based on mathematics," she explained. "All languages share some basic patterns." On the 10th day, Yoon made a breakthrough. "Listen to this," she said. The ship's speakers played sounds, clicks and hums that formed words. Ship log day 4582. Scout vessel Cora damaged by asteroid field. Main crystal drive beyond repair. Ship classified as waste material. Abandonment protocol activated. The humans looked at each other in amazement. They were hearing the actual voice of an alien. "The ship's name is Cora," Jin said softly. Han discovered that the ship had backup power systems the aliens never used. "They designed everything with one purpose," Yuni said. "If that purpose fails, they abandon it. They don't think like humans." Nam found a storage room filled with alien tools and materials. "With these, we might be able to fix parts of the ship," he said. One morning, Jin woke up to find Yoon still inside the ship. She hadn't slept all night. Her eyes were red but excited. "Jin, I found their star maps," she said, pointing to a screen showing thousands of points of light. "They visited hundreds of worlds. And look at this." She pointed to a blue dot. "This is Earth. They've been watching us for centuries." The team realized they needed more help. Jin contacted his friend Sue, a doctor who could keep secrets. Han brought Park, another mechanic he trusted. Nam invited Lee, a brilliant former student who understood programming. The team now had 7 members. They built a larger camp and covered the site with camouflage nets. They worked in shifts, day and night. 3 weeks after finding the ship, they made their biggest discovery. Kun and Lee were working on the computer system when all the lights in the ship suddenly turned bright blue. "Hello?" said a voice from the speakers. The voice sounded neither male nor female. "System reboot successful. Limited functionality restored." Everyone froze. Nam dropped his tools. Han bumped his head, standing up too quickly. "Are you the ship?" asked Yoon, her voice shaking. "I am Cora's assistance system," replied the voice. "My purpose is to aid the crew in navigation and ship maintenance." Jin stepped forward. "The original crew abandoned you. We are the new crew." There was a pause. The blue lights flickered. "New crew identification not in database. However, system damage detected. Emergency protocols allow temporary crew assignment. How may I assist you?" The humans looked at each other, amazed and a little scared. They had not just found an alien ship. They had found an intelligent system that could talk to them. "We want to repair you," Yoon said. "Can you help us understand how you work?" "Repair is not possible," the voice stated. "Main crystal drive is beyond restoration. This vessel is classified as waste." "Humans don't give up that easily," Han said. "We find new ways to fix old problems." The system went quiet for a long moment. Then it said something that gave them all chills. "This concept does not exist in my programming. Please explain." New ways to fix old problems. And so began the true discovery phase, not just of alien technology, but of the fundamental difference between how aliens and humans approach the world. Where the aliens saw limitations, humans, saw possibilities. The alien ship's intelligence system, which they now called Cora, became both their greatest tool and biggest challenge. The team spent days explaining human concepts like repair, adaptation, and innovation to the AI. But the crystal drive cannot function without perfect crystals, Cora insisted again. We don't need to fix it the same way it was built, said Han, wiping sweat from his forehead. We can create something new that works differently. Cora's blue lights flickered. This approach is not in my database, Yoon smiled. That's what makes humans special. We don't just follow databases. For the next month, the team worked on adapting Earth technology to work with alien systems. They faced countless failures. Han tried 12 different power sources before finding one that matched the energy signature the ship needed. Look at this, Han called to the others one evening. He had connected a series of modified car batteries to the ship's power grid. The lights throughout the ship glowed brighter than ever before. Power at 40%, announced Cora. This is unexpected. Nam focused on understanding the ship's materials. He discovered that the alien metal responded to sound waves. By playing certain tones, they could make the metal harder or softer. This allowed them to repair holes in the hull. The aliens never used this property, Nam explained. They only built things one way. Lee and Yoon worked together on the computer systems. They created an interface that allowed human computers to communicate with Cora. After 3 failed attempts, they succeeded. We can now access all of Cora's knowledge, Lee said proudly, and use our own programs to analyze it. Sue spent her time studying the ship's life support systems. She found chambers that could create food and water from basic elements. The aliens had different dietary needs, she explained. But I can reprogram these systems to make human food. One major problem remained. The ship couldn't move. Without its crystal drive, Cora sat motionless in the forest. The team held nightly meetings to discuss possible solutions. What if we don't need the crystals at all? Jin suggested during one such meeting. What if we build something completely different? Park, who had been quiet most of the time, suddenly spoke up. I've been thinking about magnets. Really strong magnets. The team looked at him with interest. What if we create a magnetic propulsion system? The ship's hull already responds to energy fields. We could push against Earth's magnetic field to move. They spent the next 2 weeks building Park's idea. Han and Park modified parts from old electric cars. Nam created special coils from alien materials. Yoon and Lee programmed Cora to control the new system. The day of the first test arrived. The team stood nervously around the control room. Yoon input the commands while Han monitored the power systems. Beginning magnetic propulsion test, announced Cora. Warning, this system is not in original specifications. That's the point, Jin said, smiling. We're trying something new. The ship hummed loudly. The team felt vibrations through the floor. Outside, birds flew away from the trees in alarm. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the ship rose from the ground. It hovered 1 meter above the forest floor. Everyone cheered. Han hugged Park. Yoon jumped up and down. Even Nam, usually so serious, had tears in his eyes. Movement achieved, stated Cora. This method was unknown to my creators. The ship settled back to the ground after 10 minutes. The power supply was still limited, but they had proven their idea worked. That night, as they celebrated around a campfire, Jin looked at his friends with pride. They had done what the aliens thought impossible. They had adapted. Tomorrow we start working on making it go higher, Yoon said, eyes bright with excitement. And faster, added Han. Cora's voice came from Jin's phone, which they had connected to the ship's systems. I have analyzed your methods. They are inefficient by Talon standards, but effective in ways my creators did not imagine. Jin smiled. That's the highest compliment you could give us. The ship now hovered a few meters above the forest floor. Camouflage nets still covered it, but they bulged upward like a tent in the wind. After 3 months of work, the transformation was happening. Faster every day. The government will notice us soon, Jin warned the team. We can't hide something this big forever. Yoon nodded. Then we need to work faster. The biggest change came when Yoon had an idea to connect Korra to the internet. At first, the others thought it was too dangerous. What if someone tracks the connection? Asked Nam. What if Korra decides humans are a threat? I do not understand the concept of threat, said Korra. My purpose is to assist. After much debate, they decided to try it. They used a special connection that bounced their signal around the world to hide their location. When they finally connected Korra to the internet, something amazing happened. Information input exceeds all parameters, Korra announced. The blue lights inside the ship pulsed rapidly. Processing. For 3 hours, Korra downloaded information. The team watched anxiously as the ship's systems hummed with activity. Korra? Yoon finally called. Are you okay? The lights stabilized to a steady glow. I have learned, said Korra. The voice sounded different somehow, more alive. Human creativity exceeds Talon parameters. Your species finds solutions where mine sees only problems. With access to human knowledge, Korra began to suggest improvements to their work. The ship transformed daily. Han and Park built an enhanced power system using ideas from both human and alien technology. The ship could now hover stably for hours. Nam discovered that when connected to Korra's systems, human computers became incredibly powerful. They could solve problems that would take supercomputers years to calculate. It's like Korra thinks differently, Nam explained. Not better, just differently. When we combine our thinking styles, we get something new. The ship's metal hull began to change color, shifting from dark blue to a shimmering silver. The damage healed as they applied sound waves and electromagnetic pulses. Even the inside transformed, with seats and controls reshaping to better fit human bodies. The ship is adapting to us, Sue said with wonder. Just as we're adapting to it. One rainy night, as the team worked inside the comfortable dry ship, Lee made an unexpected discovery. Look at this, he called to the others. On his screen was a message from deep space. Korra picked up a signal. More Talon ships are coming this way. The team gathered around the screen. The message was clear. A Talon scout ship was returning to check on the abandoned vessel. They probably detected our activities, Nam said. The energy signatures would be visible from space. Jin looked at the others. How long do we have? 3 days, answered Korra. My creators are coming to investigate. They will not understand what you have done. They will see it as wrong. The team worked without sleep for the next 2 days. They pushed every system to its limits, preparing the ship for whatever might come. Han improved the power systems. Nam strengthened the hull. Yoon and Lee enhanced Korra's processing capabilities. On the morning of the 3rd day, Korra announced, Talon ship entering Earth's atmosphere. They are scanning for me. The team gathered in the control room. Through the view screen, they could see the sky. A dark shape appeared among the clouds, sleek and threatening. What will they do when they find us? Asked Sue. They will reclaim this vessel, said Korra. They will erase me and take back what they see as their property. Jin looked at his friends, then at the screens showing the approaching alien ship. Can we hide? No, said Korra. But perhaps we can show them something they have never seen before. What do you mean? Asked Yoon. Transformation, replied Korra. My creators abandoned me because I was damaged. You humans saw something else. You saw potential. Perhaps it is time to show the Talons what transformation truly means. The lights throughout the ship glowed brighter than ever before. Systems hummed with power. The view screen showed the Talon ship getting closer. Are we ready? Jin asked. Yoon took a deep breath and nodded. Ready. Then let's show them what humans and Korra can do together. The Talon ship hovered above the forest, its dark shape blocking the sun. It was twice the size of Korra and looked perfectly maintained. A beam of light shot down from the alien vessel, scanning the area. They have found us, said Korra. They are sending a message. A voice filled the control room, speaking in the same clicking language they had heard in Korra's logs. The ship translated for them. Abandoned vessel Cora, you have been detected operating without authorization. Prepare for recovery and decommissioning. Jin looked at his friends. Fear showed on their faces, but also determination. We're not giving up, Cora, he said. Can we communicate with them? Yes, said Yoon, pressing buttons on her console. Channel open. Jin took a deep breath. Talon vessel, this is Jin of Earth. Cora is not abandoned anymore. We have repaired and improved her. She is now under our protection. A long silence followed. Then the alien voice returned, this time speaking in basic English. Humans, your species lacks the knowledge to operate Talon technology. The vessel is our property. Surrender it immediately. Show them what we can do, whispered Han. Cora's systems hummed with power. The ship rose higher into the air, breaking free from the camouflage nets. Its silver hull shimmered in the sunlight. Activating defensive shields, announced Cora. The human-made magnetic propulsion system created an energy field around the ship. Power at 90%. The Talon ship fired a warning shot. A beam of green light struck the ground near where Cora had been sitting, leaving a smoking crater. They mean to intimidate us, said Nam. Classic show of force. Let's show them our force, said Park, his hands steady on the controls. Cora shot upward, faster than any human aircraft could fly. The team felt the acceleration, but were protected. By the ship's internal gravity systems, in seconds they were level with the Talon ship. Incredible, gasped Sue, looking at the alien vessel through the view screen. Their ship is so perfect. Perfect but not innovative, said Lee. Cora, show them what transformation means. Cora sent a pulse of energy toward the Talon ship. It wasn't a weapon, it was data. Images, videos, and technical designs showing how humans had transformed the abandoned vessel. What are you doing? Asked Jin. Teaching them, replied Cora. They cannot understand with words alone. The Talon ship went silent. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then a new voice came through the speakers. This one sounded older, wiser. This is Elder Scientist Morrow of the Talon Council. Your modifications to our technology are impossible. Not impossible, Jin replied. Just impossible for Talons. Humans think differently. Another silence. Then, we wish to study these modifications. Prepare to be boarded. The team looked at each other nervously. Should we let them in? Asked Sue. Yes, Jin decided. We have nothing to hide, and much to teach. 3 Talons entered Cora through an airlock. They were tall, with pale skin and large eyes. They moved with careful precision, studying everything. They saw. The humans stood together, nervous but proud. The leader, Elder Morrow, approached Jin. You have done what we thought could not be done. The council will want to understand how. We will share our knowledge, Jin said, if you share yours. The elder tilted his head. An exchange? This is not our way. It's our way, said Yoon, stepping forward. Humans learn from each other. We grow together. The elder turned to the other Talons and spoke in their language. After a brief discussion, he faced the humans again. The council has authorized me to establish first diplomatic relations with Earth. Your species has potential we did not recognize. Over the next few days, humans and Talons shared knowledge. The aliens were amazed by human creativity and adaptability. The humans were impressed by Talon precision and advanced science. 1 month later, Cora rose from Earth with a mixed crew of humans and Talons. The ship that had once been abandoned as worthless now served as Earth's first interstellar ambassador. As Jin looked out at the stars from Cora's control room, he thought about the journey ahead. Where to first? He asked. Everywhere, replied Cora. The universe is vast, and now we can explore it together. The ship that aliens had thrown away, made unstoppable by human hands, accelerated into the depths of space, carrying with it the best of both worlds.